Welcome, my name is Titus Rhodes, and this is Young Clarity, a podcast about thinking differently no matter how old or young you are. Whether it's creativity, self-improvement, or even your faith, we talk about it all. Episode 2 of the Young Clarity podcast. I'm your host, Titus Rhodes, and today, it's an awesome day. It's an awesome Monday. Happy Monday morning to all you guys. I'm so excited that you're here with me today to talk about whatever we're going to talk about today. And I love the fact that today we get to dive into a topic that I really want to dive into that's very important for creative minds like yourself. And how do you get more creative? We're going to learn all about that today. And it's exciting. It's exciting, really. This is my first time ever doing video on the podcast. First time doing a video podcast like this. So excited to dive into it with you guys. Title of this podcast, first off, is Living Creatively. So we're already living creatively, constantly having those creative thoughts just coming out the noggin left and right. And it's kind of funny because it's like, dude, we spend so much time working to get all of this stuff. I mean, this is the first time we did video podcast, and I have to mention this on the podcast. Okay, guys, it's 2 minutes in. I know we haven't got to the subject yet, but I got to do some yapping. We got the lights here. We got the microphone here. We got the camera looking at you, the audience, the frame. All this took all week. I've been working non-stop on trying to figure out solutions to make this podcast grow and be better and talk to more people to help people understand the vision. And the vision of Young Clarity is to help people think and see a little bit differently. It's so much that goes into making this podcast. And I have some awesome guests I've been talking to as well to make this podcast even better, going to change your lives and help you understand how to live a creative life a little bit better. So I'm so excited, and welcome to Young Clarity again. I have to mention that. Thank you for your time. All right, let's jump into it. So the title of this message today, the title of this podcast today is Living Creatively. Living creatively is a very important thing for me because when you're talking about living creatively or doing anything in your life that you want to do that's creative, you have to think about it from, you got to break it down because creative life is a very big process. I mean, for artists and anyone who is creative like myself, either you're doing podcasts, doing video, film, media, anything that's in this crazy economy that we're in right now, that is the entertainment industry, you got to understand is that, and truly living creatively starts with routine, consistency, and results. And those are the 3 points that we're going to be covering today in the podcast. We actually have notes now. No more rambling. We have notes and we have a message. And the message is living creatively. So let me tell you guys a story. I'm a writer-director. And because I'm a writer-director, I wanted to write screenplays a lot. Because when you're thinking about all the projects you've been on, naturally you become more creative yourself. And you want to have those projects become your projects and not work on someone else's projects, if that makes sense. And what I learned is that over time, I learned how to adapt and to create my own stuff and still have time for other people's stuff. And the step to doing that is truly and honestly, it's building a routine. And that's the first message is the routine. So I used to wake up, like the first step I did to become creative or have a routine was I wake up at around 6 a.m. And from 6 a.m., I would get out of bed, make my bed, go get some coffee, come back to my desk, and I would work from 6:20 to 8 a.m. Like clockwork. I had a schedule of trying to facilitate ways to make my work easier, more accessible, easier for me to do. The first step to learning how to do that is by making a routine. And the way to make your creative life routine, it starts off, and there's this interesting book that I really want to share real quickly. It's called Austin Kleon. Austin Kleon is an author. He's based in Texas. 2 books that Austin Kleon has that I read. They're called Still Like an Artist and Keep Going. And Keep Going is one of the best books I have ever read when it came to trying to figure out how to do more as a creative and not feel down. Now, as creative individuals, we struggle with one problem. There's one thing that almost every creative person says when they're talking about how to come up with a routine or to write their books more. It's always, I don't have enough time. And it's one of the biggest practices that Austin Kleon teaches in his book that I really love and I want to share with you guys today is that he shares the fact that having a 9 to 5 as a creative person is okay. having a 9 to 5 as a creative person is okay. It's okay to have a corporate job if you're creative. And a lot of people don't like hearing that because when they hear it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, what are you talking about?" Like, as a creative person, I have to be in the woods with my my drawings. Like, you need to have this. And 9 to 5s are just as important as your creative job. It's just the only thing separating you from doing what you want to do in life. It's your routine. What is your routine? For me, it was waking up at 6 a.m. and going off to get coffee and then going back and writing down on my desk. And that's my creative work. I did that from 6 to 8 a.m. That's like, I believe that's an hour and 40 minutes of my time I spent trying to be creative, trying to fit that creativity in my day. And I look at it like this. When you're wanting to work out, what's the first step to working out? First step to working out is applying discipline, building a routine. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what are you doing? Okay, can't work out Tuesday? Okay. Excuses? Monday? Okay, we'll go Monday. Okay, can't work out Wednesday? Okay, we'll go Thursday. Okay, Monday, Thursday. Can you work out Saturday? No. I don't want to work out on Saturday. I gotta spend time with my family. Okay, don't work out Saturday. These are the excuses that people give. Excuses they give to themselves because they're lazy. But truthfully, the reason why you're not doing what you want to do is because you just don't want to do it. So Monday and Thursday are your days to be at the gym. Show up Monday, Thursday, Monday, Thursday. Do it for 6 years. Do it for 6 years. Go to Monday to Thursday and look how your body transforms afterwards. You'll be more toned. You'll be better at what you do, and you'll probably be happier. Same way with creativity. 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. What am I doing? I'm writing, and I practiced that. I became a better writer. I became smarter. I became a better. I grew in some way, okay, and that's what the point is that when you're writing and you're practicing a skill or a discipline or you're practicing the gym or anything else, the number one way to live more creatively, to living a creative life, is by building a routine and establishing next part, consistency. Consistency is the number one way on which successful people talk about. Consistency equals change. And it's not easy to say that because when you say that to someone, they look at you and they say, "Oh my gosh, like I can't always be consistent. I have to go and do what I want." Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't need to be doing that right now. You don't need to be doing that right now. You could be consistently doing this. Like, why do you have to do that right now? And they do. But this is what separates the weak from the strong, is that who can show up day after day versus the guy who can only show up. The guy who shows up 7 times a week is always going to do better than the guy who shows up 1 time a week. Yet we always have a problem with consistency, because consistency is not necessarily difficult. Consistency is not necessarily difficult. I don't think it is. I think it's a mental game. And I think whatever you're practicing in your consistency, you should be mindful of what you're tackling. Like consistently going and walking every single day may only be hard if depending on the time of day. But the way to consistently do it is to pick the best day that works for you. That's why a routine and consistency go hand in hand. Consistency and a routine go hand in hand because choosing the right routine makes it easier to be more consistent. Being consistent builds your routine. Like you have, it's like both are hand in hand into making what you want to be. And you're a creative person, and the way I would translate this to my creative friends here, you could consistently write every single day. I watched a guy on TikTok, and he had this little series going out. And if you're listening right now, yes, it is you. Yes, I am talking about you. And he had this little thing going out. And I'm not a big fan of posting what I'm doing when I'm consistently working. I let my actions speak for me. So when people shake my hand, they're like, "Oh my gosh, your hands must be rough." I'm like, "Yeah, I go to the gym every day." They're like, "Okay, I can tell." Like, that's what I like. Like, if I'm being creative or I'm talking to somebody, "Oh my gosh, you have great ideas. How do you come up with these ideas?" Like, no, it's not. It's like I practice making ideas. Practicing making ideas is a real thing. I have books with nothing but ideas in them. I post them on Twitter sometimes. I just do it. And I'm not trying to come up here and say I'm strong and I'm buff and I'm smart. But no, I'm trying to say is that when you consistently practice something, people will notice. And that's what separates you from living a creative life. The first step to being also living a creative life is being recognized by other people that you're a creative person. Like, someone should be able to look at you and say, oh, I can really tell that you got a knack for this. Oh, I can tell. I can feel your energy that you are creative. And it happens. It happens to a lot of us that when we get into rooms, you can kind of get seen and be like pointed at, be like, oh my gosh, you're creative. Like, and creative is a weird word too. Like, it's a weird word because like it gets thrown around too much. Like, too many people are creative people. Too many people are artists. The word creative gets more thrown around than any other word ever. I don't even really like using it. Well, it's just the fact that everyone says it that you kind of got to say it. Like, I don't know. But the point I'm saying is that consistently waking up and doing something, and you're going to be better if you consistently show up. So creative people always have a problem with being consistent because number one, it's laziness. One, it's laziness, and two, it's discipline. And the rest of the stuff can be in between. There are no excuses for why you can't not generate ideas every day. I'm not asking you to spend an hour like I did. I'm asking you to spend maybe 10 minutes. Spend 10 minutes being consistent. Practice discipline and watch you reap. Like, I believe in sowing and in reaping. Two very important things I really do believe that creative people should very much be tackling if they want to be creative. And those are my opinions. That's what I believe in. Sorry. And that's what it is like you have to be consistent to be seen as a creative person sometimes. Lastly, the final thing of today's podcast is results. We're going to break this up in two things because in a creative lifestyle is a creative lifestyle is a disciplined lifestyle. A disciplined lifestyle is a focused lifestyle, and a focused lifestyle always and will always equal results. Every day, day by day, your work does not go unnoticed. And it's not that you have a crowd of people cheering you every single day, because naturally that's not going to happen to you. When you apply yourself to living a focused and disciplined lifestyle, you will find that you will get results, and results will come in many ways. Like, if you consistently go to the gym, and I always compare to gym because that's just something I do a lot, and I know that and that's another thing about having consistency in other parts of your life, is that applying them to other parts of your life can be a lot simpler. Now, coming to the younger people on here, you may have friends who don't necessarily do everything you do, and that's when you have to separate yourself. There are going to be people in your life where they're going to, like, because of the stuff you do, they're not going to get it. And you should really not, I really hope, I want to promise you that you really should not care. You really should, like, if someone, like, if you get up in the morning and you write, and that's why another reason I don't share too much about what I do, because if you get up in the morning and you write every single day, like, you're not, you're going to be seen odd, but people later in your life will look at you like a genius because when they see you, they're like, my gosh, this kid finally got it, and I wish I got it when I was his age. So don't be afraid of being the odd one out. Results come in many forms. Living a creative life is not like a normal life. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's not like a thing you just season on there. You're not like, this is another reason I hate the word creative, because the word creative sounds like everyone is an artist because they season a little bit of creativity in their life. But no, creative lifestyle is a way of life. It's a way of actively applying yourself and making yourself use that creative muscle in your brain to apply pressure, to create something, to motivate someone. And when you push past your limits and you realize that when you make a creative lifestyle of your own and you form that, the opportunities start to resonate with so many others. So creating a creative lifestyle is so important because it will always equal results. And brick by brick, you build this day by day. I was talking to someone earlier today about the idea of I said they were having an issue with, they were complaining to me first off. I am the worst person to complain to if I know you. Like, if I really do know you, like if I don't really know you too much, I'm just going to listen. I'm a great listener. But if I know you, I'm not a great listener because I know you. I know one thing. You can change everything about yourself if you really wanted to. You sound like you're complaining all day. Stop complaining. Stop complaining and telling me your problems when you actively know how to fix them. Like, you know what you need to do. So why are you not doing it? Why are you sitting here talking to me about it when you could be going out and figuring it out? That's what I think. Sorry. I'm not the problem. The problem is you. The problem is that you can't actively put yourself in the situation to go and confront someone. So that's what I think. When you're creative, you have to just push past and just stop complaining. And when you have someone that has are antagonizing you, do not sit there and complain all day. Actively try to show them and fix the problem. I believe that if you start brick by brick, day by day, 10% every single day, and like say 10% here, so you're at 20% the second day, 30% the third day, 40% this 40, like by 100%, you should be in 10 days. 10 days, you should be in 100%. I don't know if that's great math, guys, but in my logic, it makes sense to me. 10 plus 10 plus 10. I don't know what to tell you. But the point I'm saying is that you should be actively pushing yourself to do better. If you can fix your problems, fix your problems. If you can start today, start today. And no, you can start today. Like literally when I started this podcast, you know what? I just pressed the button. I just did it. And then all the way up to now, all this stuff, the stuff you don't even see, all that stuff I built, I applied it by pushing in myself to do something. Because when you're starting a creative life, you're not going to have it easy. You're going to have to figure it out. It's just like with a normal life. Okay, when you're born, you don't know the answers to everything. When you're young, you don't know the answers to everything. When you're old, sometimes you still don't know the answers to everything because you have to work yourself up. Because every time you start, you're at ground zero. But if you start day by day, I guarantee you'll see the mountains and you'll stand on the clouds because you have to push yourself. That's what I think. So if you want to do anything great in life, push yourself. I'm saying that now at 18 years old. I'm going to push myself and I'm going to achieve things I would never have imagined. And I'm going to achieve everything I have imagined that I see myself currently going towards. Because I know me. I know that I go day by day. I push myself and I'm always going to work hard. And that's what I do. That's how I live my life. That's my philosophy. Consistency is so important for everything. There's an interesting scripture that I wanted to talk to you guys about too, about living a consistent life, and when it comes to discipline and consistency and all these different things. I said I want to talk about the scripture. It's called Proverbs. It's from Proverbs chapter 12, verse 1. It says, "Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid." That was a great scripture. I was like, man, that's a great scripture. Like, you're stupid. You're stupid. If you don't, you're stupid. If you really don't wake up, you're stupid. Like, it's kind of funny. But the point I'm saying is that, dude, like, you gotta, like, day by day, 10% each day, you should be at some level somewhere. And it might take you 10 years to get to 10%. Whatever that creative life is that you want, which is like, I'm assuming if it takes you 10 years to get to 10%, it's probably something astronomical like celebrity or famous person. Might take you 10 years just to get to 10%. But I mean, if you get to celebrity at 10%, your 100% should be absolutely amazing. And that's what I think too, is like, there's a level of like, once you start playing this game of living your life day by day, there's this like idea that, oh my gosh, every time I sow, I shall reap something glorious. Disciplining yourself, you can learn anything. If you read 10 pages of a book every single day, or if you're Cat Williams and you read like 300 pages a day, like whatever you are, like if you're actively pursuing just learning and trying to develop yourself, these skills can apply and maybe you might be able to reach some level where you make money. But that's the point. The point is that living a creative lifestyle, and this is going from creative lifestyle down to normal lifestyle. But going back to creative lifestyle, creative people, we can learn anything. Creative people's brains, our minds, we have the best minds in the world, I think, because our minds are meant to think outside the box. That's what I think a creative lifestyle is the ability to think outside the box. So your routine, I will never give you an answer. My daily routine right now, Wake up at 5 a.m. I'm out the door by like 5:10, 15. I'm at the gym by 5:30. I'm out the gym by 6:20. I'm at the house washing up, showering by 7 o'clock. I'm reading the news and drinking coffee. And then I'm back to normal schedule. Like by 9 o'clock, I have to be up somewhere. I'm always out somewhere by 9. I try to get at the house by 9. But that's my life. That's how I live my life. And it's not the perfect morning routine. And this is just July 19, 2024. That's my current morning routine. Never sacrifice your creative lifestyle with you have so many opportunities out there, guys. And I hate the fact when I get on this podcast, I always just end up saying the same things over and over again. But sometimes I think you need someone. Sometimes I think I'm the affirmations that don't require you to respond. Just listen to my words. You can do anything in life. Anything. I stand here today doing things I never thought I would ever do. I was terrified of showing my face, and now I'm not even afraid of it anymore. And as the podcast episodes grow, and we have guests who I'm very excited to bring on because they're very, very, very smart people who have grown a massive, massive audience in their life. I'm very excited to talk to them. But it starts day by day with your creative lifestyle. And your creative lifestyle, routine, consistency, and results. Want to be successful in life? Routine, consistency, results. Well, that's what it takes. It takes that to be successful. Routine, consistency, results. So my question for you today on the podcast is, how are you going to have that routine? How are you going to get a consistency? And how are you going to gain those results? I know I keep on saying the podcast is going to be 30 minutes long, but for some reason, I don't have 30 minutes of knowledge. I'm only a 20-minute person apparently, but it's been very great talking to all of you guys. You've been absolutely amazing to talk to, learn from, and really spend this time in this episode 2 of the podcast. So much stuff is going to come out. So many future things are going to happen. So make sure you follow the podcast, you share it on Spotify, you star it, you do everything you can. We're on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, LinkedIn probably. We're on everything. I have it. We're up, guys. We are on every single platform imaginable for podcasts. If there's not a platform, I will get us there, okay? Give me 2 weeks. It took me 1 week to do it. 2 weeks, watch me do it. Consistency, results. Consistency, results. And I'll build a routine. Hopefully you guys have a great Monday. I'm so excited to hear the future of what we're going to do here. And I'm so happy to have the opportunity to talk to you guys again. So yeah, my name is Titus Rhodes, and this is Young Clarity, a podcast to help you see things a little bit differently. I'll see you guys later. Bye.